I pre-tinned the wires with solder. I bent the leads over so it would fit into the cavity of the guitar. And I'm just going to insert these into the solder opening. Test your work. Put a couple leads on. That's just red paint. So we have a circuit that closes when you press the switch. The options for wiring this to the guitar electronics. It's not recommended to actually solder it to the output jack, but that would work. And the only reason it's really not recommended, if it could create a ground loop, I guess. So it's really recommended to actually solder these wires onto the ground of the volume pot and onto the, in my case, the center connection on the potentiometer for the volume. That's ideal. But what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to solder it to this. This guitar, as you can see, only has one pickup. It really is very minimal with electronics. Has a couple of pots, but I don't think there's going to be much of a ground loop problem with this, but best practice is to actually solder it to here. If it doesn't work, it's easy. I don't even have to unsolder from here. I could just simply clip the wires pretty much flush on the jack and then just bring them in. But again, I don't expect that's going to be a problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and solder it to right to the jack. Positive wire. Should be a shiny flow of solder. This is lead-free solder, so it doesn't shine as much, but I can see it's good flow. Okay, the negative post. Okay. Before sealing it up, I like to just test it out, make sure I don't have to resolder or anything. Plug in an amp. Everything still works, the tone, the volume, and okay. I know people cringe when I use Windex on this, but it's a project guitar. It's made for experimenting and so forth, and it's a good guitar. But just cleaning it up before sealing it up. There you have it. Final thoughts on this. Take care when drilling your hole. The size for this particular switch, I believe, is 30 millimeters. I used a 1-inch, and I had to do a considerable amount of filing to get the right fit. Be careful not to chip the outside of the finish, because that'll actually chip off easy when you're filing. Even when you're drilling, you just want to go nice and easy. And if you do, you could patch it up. Keep in mind, I wouldn't do this to anything but a project guitar, something that you intend to experiment with and try different things you're not worried about. As you can see, this is actually it's actually pretty nice axe. I mean, it's very budget, but it's good for experimenting. The other thing is, just take care in soldering. The other thing, to get the switch out, this is really important. You really don't want to pry it out with a screwdriver if you need to in the future. I have a little hole back here, and it's enough to put an Allen key, an Allen wrench in. You want to put something flat, not a tiny screwdriver, but an Allen key, and just put it in. I wouldn't even tap it. I would just kind of press it, and it should come right out. Just enough. I mean, you could try to pull it out this way. If you could pull it out too easy this way, it's it's not tight enough in there anyway. You really want it to be nice and press fit. But other than that, that's it. I mean, again, for a project guitar, it's cool. And just for, 'cause you can. Later.